Welcome to the Global Fashion Workshop channel. We remind you that we release a new video 3 times a week. Today, we will work with flounces. I did a flounce behind the cameras, showed up wearing it, and of course, everybody started to ask me about it. I thought they would only comment a little and then calm down, but the comments did not stop. Under every video was, when will you show us how to make flounces? So today we will show you how to attach flounces. We need the front piece, for example. Here it is. Here's the center on the front band. We have a one-piece front band. We prepared the neckline, front band. Here's the full circle flounce itself. The binding on bias is 3.5 centimeters wide. And now, step by step, we will show you how to make the flounces. The holidays are ahead of us, and everybody wants flounces. And we must attach them to our garments correctly. So, fold it in half and iron the binding. Let's go to our sewing machine. I have received a lot of questions about this blouse. Here are 3 circle flounces. How are they supposed to connect? Let me explain. Here, in the shoulder seam, or close to the shoulder, we have the tiny seams on the blouse itself. We face the flounces together, and use the French seam for sewing them. It is a good technique. It comes out very neat and clean. Here's the right side of the flounce, and here's the wrong side. There are 3 circles, and we must attach them somehow. That is why we offer this technique. Only after the seam was finished did we use the French seam to finish the edge. You see how beautiful it came out? For our example, we take a half blouse. Of course, you'll have the whole one. Where do we start? The width of the band is 3 centimeters. We make a little cut 1.5 centimeters from the edge. It is a very small cut, only 4 to 5 millimeters. The front band is already ironed. Let's pin the flounce to our cut, not to the edge of the band, but to where we cut it, all the way around our neckline. Do not stretch the flounce. We will pin it more or less evenly. We could baste it, or maybe not. Everybody knows their own strengths and abilities. If you baste it, remember to remove the threads afterwards. Okay, we pinned it to the garment. First, we will stitch the flounce to the neckline, 4 to 5 millimeters from the edge. After, take the pins off and work with the binding. You could baste it first as well. Just attach the flounce first. It would be too hard to stitch binding with the pins in place. Of course, The flounce has to be prepared for the whole length of the neckline. If there are two flounces, like in our blouse, one longer and one shorter, you will have to baste them together and continue to work as if it is one flounce. Be careful to not create folds. You can decorate anything with flounces. Any dress, any blouse, any shirt, cotton or silk like mine, chiffon. It is very cool. Our flounce is already in the neckline. Now let us attach the binding. Leave 5 to 7 centimeters for the stitching foot. Remember, our binding is 3.5 centimeters. Fold it in half on bias. You see how convenient it is? The first stitch is ready. Now we attach the binding to the same stitch. And we do not have to worry how the flounce coincides with the blouse. Now here is the little cut. Trim the excess binding, leaving no more than 1 centimeter extra from the cut. Okay, first, we attach the flounce to our garment, and after, we attach the binding. Now, turn the seam to the binding side. Open it flat and top stitch it 1 millimeter. Stitch on the binding. Keep checking that the seam underneath is always on the binding side and doesn't move. Let's trim here a little more. Let's see here. This is our band from the inside. Now we will turn it inside out. Pin exactly where it bends on the corner. We will show you the exact technological steps. Pin it on the level with the blouse.
И скалываем на уровне вот самой вот этой блузы.
Now turn it to the wrong side. You see this stitch?
Первая часть, понятно, мы зашиваем сам уголочек, мы вам покажем его. И прошиваем именно до конца планочки. Вот сколько у нас планочки, столько мы прошиваем. Дальше мы сейчас ничего не прошиваем. Давайте смотрим.
Let's trim the excess seam and corner. Otherwise, the extra fabric will not let us turn it inside out. Cut just a little bit.
И выворачиваем. Потому что пока вот так мы вывернем, нам будет трудно. Нам вот излишечки там будут мешать. Смотрите, чуть-чуть вот так раз. И выворачиваем.
Now let's look at our corner.
Что мы имеем? Вот этот уголочек тоже.
What do we have here?
Вы вывернули, а вот тут уголочек.
Trim this angle from the band itself.
От самой планочки убираем. Теперь давайте все рассмотрим. Уголок.
Here's the place for the buttons. The flounce cannot start directly from the corner because if you buttoned it up, this way the ends will just meet each other. Let's see how nice it looks from the right side and the wrong side. Now we need to just stitch the bottom part of the binding to the blouse. Let's talk about this part. You could stitch the front band to the blouse along the edge. Then, you would have a visible stitch in the front. This is not always an acceptable method. Sometimes buttons and buttonholes hold it in place and the edge is left free. In that case, we do not need a stitch. The stitch doesn't look good on silk blouses, or the design is not supposed to have a stitch. You will choose what you prefer. We are showing you how to attach this binding. It is very easy to sew with Natasha's hands. The corner and the beginning of the flounce comes out very clean. And in reality, it doesn't take a lot of work, even if you make 2 flounces like mine. I have one that is 8 centimeters and the other is 6. Maybe you want 3 flounces. Why not? Let your imagination run wild. I think I will do the next blouse with 3 flounces. I just thought of it. Why do I only have 2? Clearly, I was not thinking straight. Here you will continue to the second part of the garment. We stopped because our example piece is finished. Now we will show you how to iron it. Look at this beautiful flounce. We showed you this corner and how to attach the binding. Wonderful. Do not touch the flounce with the iron. If it wrinkles, it will be difficult to fix later. only iron the binding. When the tailor works accurately, he saves a lot of troubles in the end. Otherwise, a lot of problems will come up.
Когда портной работает неаккуратно, в конце работы появляется очень много проблем. Просто, вот знаете, очень много, очень большое количество.
That is it. Our flounce is ready.
Наш валан готов.
I hope our lessons will help you look absolutely stunning.
Красивыми и неотразимыми, потому что, ну, валан это очень классная сама.
I wear my blouse with pleasure, and I hope you will love the garments you make with your own hands as well.
Ну, чё б я в белой блузке на работе так иногда только. Ну, все-таки я ее одеваю с удовольствием. Я надеюсь, что вы тоже получите удовольствие от своих изделий, которые заранее продуманы, технологично исполнены и доставляют удовольствие.
We will always appreciate your feedback. Please comment what you think. Your comments make our channel much more lively. Thank you for watching. Paukshte Irina Mikhailovna, Natasha, and the rest of our team.
У нас на канале стало все живее, когда мы начали писать комментарии. Всего хорошего. С вами были мы, Paukshte Irina Mikhailovna, Наташенька.